Everyone, I am Devabrat Borghai, as Meenakshi has introduced. So, before starting with the presentation, the boring slides of this presentation, I'll just tell you a small story. A story exactly, incident that happened to me, how I came to design. Actually, it was, I mean, somewhere in 2011, I was watching a movie, a very old movie, Tarzan the Wonder Car. It was in 2010, I guess. So I had no idea about what design actually, the field about the field design. So somehow when I watched the movie, I actually I was very fascinated with the car that was shown in that particular movie. So out of curiosity, I went into Google and then searched for that particular car. Then I came to know that that particular car was designed by Dilip Chabria. Then I thought, what should what is his qualification that he is able to design that car. Then I looked into his profile. Then I came to know about um, that he did his degree from in Art Center, California. Then while looking at the mm, internet, uh, it happens that Google pushes all the related items. That's how I got into the seed website. And then now I came to know that there is an exam called seed where you can apply for IITs and other institutes for that particular exam. That's how I came into design. And then again, even after entering design field, I was not sure actually whether I should go for interaction design, whether I should go for product design, or whether I should go for automobile design. So during the first year, my presentation or my project work was more of a product design work. Then in the second year, one of my friends said that he would be moving to Pune for some uh, internship. So I said, "Can I join you?" Then he said, "Like you will have to ask." And then finally I got a opportunity in Bajaj Automobiles to get an internship there. That's how I came to automobile design. I was not sure until that point of time. I'm talking about this. Narrating this incident in front of you because I know what conditions you are having right now, joining MDES, and then you might be a little bit confused with your decision, the future decisions you will be taking in the next 2 years. So I am Devabrat Bogai here as a I work in TCS as the lead design. Uh, about I did my masters in IIT Guwahati, as you all know, as you have all already Meenakshi has explained. Then I joined General Motors in the year 2030 after this. Then I worked in General Motors till 2019. Then TCS General Motors actually transitioned to TCS in 2019, and presently I'm working with TCS as the lead designer. So coming to my interest, I have great interest in futurism in design. When you call futurism in design, I like to imagine the world when, I mean, uh, imagine the world or the vehicles that will be in maybe 2050 or 2020, maybe 2070 or post-apocalyptic vehicles, those kind of things. And I'm pretty much interested in biomimicry and biomorphism. So you will see in my projects how I like to incorporate biomorphism in my projects. Then I love new concept generations, as you can, as you will see in my presentation. And I like to explore different softwares. So right now in the industry, we use Autodesk Alias for sculpting. But there are various softwares which are not unexplored by the automotive industries, like Blender, ZBrush, Maya. So actually, automotive industry is changing. So people are trying to or use those new softwares which are used by different other um, industries, especially the entertainment industries, so that they can bring out quick concept modeling. So we'll go through all these details in the next few slides. I think the details. So coming to my skills and tools that I know, I have a good understanding of classes servicing, design thinking, then I have good understanding of concept ideation, and then I would I like concept sketching. Then I have good hands in Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere, Autodesk Alias, V-Ray, ZBrush, Blender, and currently I'm learning Unreal Engine, which I have not included in this particular slide. So coming to automobile design. So when you say automobile design, it is a process of developing the appearance along with the usability and emotional connect. So when you call it emotional connect, we'll think about the brand identity and why is that important, and then we can I mean, when you talk about the brand identity, you'll have to know about the brand and what it means to that particular company. So we in design try to incorporate that particular thinking, their requirement in that particular car. So every brand has different features, different shapes, different proportions, different stance, and different detailing. So based on those detailings, a brand can be identified from a very long distance or maybe from a far away. So those brand identities are very much necessary, and it should be very much specific because it gives them the identity or um, the I mean, whenever you see multiple vehicles on the road, it gives the presence of that particular vehicle. So when you talk about design, it is the imagination or the dream that is mainly converted into the tangible product, that is the car. Can you all hear me? Meenakshi?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We
Yeah.
can.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So design can be a differentiator. So it is all about the elegance, purity, and the innovation. So when you see these images, these are BMW 3 Series. These are, I mean, on the left, those are the old BMW vehicles, and on the right, it is the, I think it is 2012 BMW vehicle. So when you see, there is some elements which are still being carried from the old days to the new, which can be the, I mean, the most prominent one is the kidney grill that we talk about. The grill that you see in the BMW is called the kidney grill. So it is, I mean, still evolving. So with time, these elements will be evolving, but the elegance, purity, and all those things will remain same. Then coming to my part of the work, I have worked on multiple interior trim projects, exterior accessory projects, and wheel sculpting projects. I've worked for a brand, particular OEM, in establishing a brand identity for their tractor. Then I have worked on multiple visual graphics projects also. I mean, logos and other graphic projects. Then I have worked on a concept, not exactly a concept vehicle. It's a kind of show car. It's a buggy design project called SAE Week. It was launched in October 2018 Visita conference. Then I have done multiple in-house projects. Uh, my latest accomplishment is like I have developed a concept of, I have developed a virtual build of a concept which will be used for our portfolio works. So coming to my um, projects, I will just show you a few of my projects, which you can see. This is one of the project which I named it as Plavak. So Plavak is a Sanskrit word for um, toad or a frog. So here, as I have already mentioned, I like biomorphing and biomimicry. So when you see this particular vehicle, you will see you will get to know that it is completely morphed from a frog or the infant of a frog. So in the ideation phase, I just took the um, tadpole for the side view, and then I morphed it to this particular side view. And the same tadpole at the metamorphosis stage of the tadpole can be seen here, and I have generated my concept particularly from this metamorphosis stage of this particular animal. So this is my ideation stage, and the key sketches that I did for that particular vehicle, and the final sketches, detailing and all. I'll just go into full screen mode. Sorry. These are the final sketches. These are a few renderings of done in period. Then coming to my second project, Project Reef. In the Project Reef, the car that we developed was named as Aerofoil. It was conceptualized from the pools of origami. So initial idea was to um, develop a car which was inspired from origami. So we wanted to have multiple poles in that particular car, multiple sharp edges. So the initial idea was like that, but the final output will be a little bit different. So this was the initial idea. Then we did lot of iterations, and then the final output is what you can see here. So this was launched in the FISITA conference held in Chennai. So this is mainly for the students. There's a competition called EVE, which they are planning to launch Pan India. So here, I mean, the college will be asked to develop the car, and the design will be pre-built. That the same design that I have done here. So you can the people can change the color and other graphics of it, and they'll have to develop the engine, a hybrid engine for a particular competition. Then there is a concept that I did called E-Raptor, which is basically inspired from a the Velociraptor. So it's another, I mean, uh, biomorphing project. So I was watching some movie, and then I saw this creature called Velociraptor. So I was quite inspired by that particular dinosaurs. So I took it and then tried to incorporate in my particular design. This is another project that is my pet project. So it is not any official project. So as I have already said, I like to imagine things which are non-existent, and maybe in distant future it can happen. So I just wanted, I'm fascinated with mechs and then aircrafts and then other vehicles. So I just like to imagine non-existing products. These are few examples of it. These are some hand-drawn sketches or Photoshop renderings. Then this is another project that I did for that for one particular OEM, which I cannot mention here the name of that OEM. I did the initial concept phase uh, of the tractor, because the final concept is somewhat similar to the first model you can see over here. So it is under production process. These are some other sketches. Then during this COVID period, um, one of my friends approached me that he wanted to develop a product. So they wanted to develop some shield for the doctors or the medical practitioners who are working on the field. So this is another product design work that I did for my friend actually. So this is also under production. These are few product sketches. Then coming to the illustration part, I am showing all these images to you so that uh, I wanted to let you know that I mean even if you are in the industry, you need to practice. So it is absolutely necessary to keep practicing. Otherwise, I mean you will lose touch with the field, and then I mean design is a process where you need to learn continuously. It um, cannot be finished on with 1 degree or 1 day or maybe 2 years. I mean, you will be doing MDes for 2 years. So you cannot say that after 2 years you will be a complete designer. So it's a never-ending process design. So I, as I say, you need to keep practicing. I think throughout your whole life. There are few illustrations that I like to pass my time with drawing and painting and doing illustrations digitally as well as I mean on canvas. So these are few of the digital illustrations. So this was one mural that was done for a cafeteria for one of my clients. These are few logos that I did for different organizations. So coming to the industry part, how the industry works. So when you talk about the industry, there's a complete vehicle development process. So here in this presentation, I will just be explaining about I will be emphasizing on the design part. So whenever we talk about the vehicle development process, there will be a market analysis or the product planning. In this phase, the leadership will analyze the market based on the empathy surveys and all, and they will come up to a design brief. After this design brief, it will be up to the designers. I mean, the concept generation phase. So in this phase, what happens is like there will be multiple designers who will be sketching on the same design brief. So they will be bringing up their own designs. So it will be more of a like uh, competition, internal competition. So in between there will be a lot of meetings, and then out of multiple all those concepts, one sketch or two sketches will be selected, and then everyone will be working in and around that particular concept. So after this concept generation phase, we will have the digital modeling phase. In this part, in this section, what happens is like the digital modelers will develop the surfaces based on those sketches. So they will try to conceptualize in 3D. The, the sketches that were done by the designers, they will do it in digitally. Here we, in the industry, we use Autodesk Alias for digital surfacing. Then there will be digital visualization and the physical modeling part. So these three departments will be working back and forth. It is not like digital modeling will be done first and then digital visualization and then clay modeling. It is like it will be back and forth. All these four branches. So once the concept sketches are done, maybe they will make the physical model, and based on the physical model, the touch and feel of the physical model, the designers will change certain surface. So again, he will change the sketch, and again, because of those changes, the digital modeler will change the model of the particular vehicle. And after all this, we'll have a digital visualization team who will visualize their particular product in different rendering softwares like VRED, VRay. Then nowadays there are new softwares coming up like Unreal Engine. So they will digitally visualize how the product will look and feel actually in actual environment. So after this design phase, there are other peripherals of design called color entrance, product design, HMI, which will be working simultaneously in this particular phase. And after this phase, there will be final CAD data. So we'll get this digital, the digital modelers will get this final CAD data, and then they will send it to the body engineering. The body engineering is nothing. I mean, what they do is like they will put thickness to those surfaces. So once the designer or the digital modeler, they give only the outer surfaces, which is visible to our naked eyes. I mean, the thickness and all those things will be given by the body engineering team. So they will put ribs, they will put holes for nuts and bolts. All those detailing will be done by the body engineering team. Then there will be other works which will be pre-production works. Then the final vehicle will be launched. So I will get into the detail of each and every department. In the initial phase is the creative department. Creative design is the concept generation phase. So here the designers will doodle sketch, freehand sketch, and then they will use different softwares like Photoshop, Autodesk Sketchbook for rendering, and they bring forth their concept that is planned during the initial market analysis. Then comes the digital sculpting, that is classes surfacing. Classes surfacing is nothing but the visible surfacing that is done, the visible surfaces that you can see, possibly see from outside. I mean, all the visible surfaces are called classes surfacing. And when we talk about the class B or B surface is the inner surface that becomes the thickness of the vehicle. So whenever you see a vehicle, the outer uh, thin sheet that you see will have thickness, right? So the inner part will be the thickness, that is the B surface, and the outer surface that you see will be the class A surface. So here the digital modelers take extreme care to get a proper highlight of the vehicle. So when this will be this particular vehicle, whenever we design a vehicle, the color that we put on the vehicle will be very reflective in nature. So whenever light falls on a particular surface, if the surface is twisted little bit, if the quality of that surface is not good, then the reflection you will be seeing will not be good. So a digital modeler has to take utmost care to have a very quality surface on the outer body, so that the reflection and the shadow that a vehicle creates will be uh, pleasing for the viewer's eye. So it is more of like a digital modeling is more of like a culmination of a designer and an engineer. So in digital sculpting phase, you'll have to be an engineer because we'll have to clear all the engineering requirements, the ergonomics part, the visibility. Then we'll have to clear all the airbags, and then other wireframes that are included in the vehicle. All those engineering parts will be covered by the classes surfaces. So a digital modeler needs to be a designer as well as a engineer to understand both the requirement. So they provide the best creative solution to bring up 2D theme into 3D reality. Then coming to the next phase, it is the clay modeling. In this clay modeling phase, it is one way to transform the sketch, the 2D sketch to 3D tangible product. So in an industry, um, we do clay modeling to get the touch and feel of the product, the actual size of the product, and how the uh, shapes will be converted to forms and how volumes will affect. So a designer might imagine a certain concept and then he might have drawn it on paper and digitally he might have rendered, but he would be very eager to get feel and eager to get a feel of the vehicle before its production. So what we do is normally we'll sculpt it with freehand or with I mean there are machines to mill it. So depending on the requirement, we will do the milling if the digital model is ready. If it is not ready, then we'll work freehand. Then we'll get once the designer gets the feel of the vehicle, he will redesign each sketch depending on his requirement. So in the industry, we use industrial plasticine. It's a kind of clay, industrial clay. So it's not actual clay. So for smaller models, we use chemical wood. So we'll stick multiple woods together as you see on this particular small image, and multiple layers of chemical wood is pasted together and then it is milled. So for a smaller model, we use normally the chemical wood because it gives better finish. This particular sheet is wrapped around the vehicle so that we get the understanding of reflections. So small bump or small ununiform surface will easily be visible for this particular lamination or the sheet. So we call it as dyno. So it will be wrapped around the whole vehicle so that it actually looks like the actual color of that vehicle. Then comes the visualization part. So in this visualization part, what we do is we take that 3D model and then we do an ambient occlusion where ambient occlusion and ray tracing. So it is more of like, I mean, how lights will get reflected from particular surface and then uh, how it will work. So we will take a ray tracing of the vehicle and then we'll render it in VRAY. There are different softwares used by different industries. Particularly in automotive industry, we use VRAY. So it's a part of Autodesk Alias. Then we have KeySort. Then we have VRAY. Then there are other softwares used in entertainment industry called Unreal Engine. Then there is a free software which you can learn is Blender. So they have inbuilt visualization capability. There are a few links which you can take a snapshot if you want. So here you can get all the HDR images and then you can get all different materials for different rendering purposes. Then comes the HMI part, which is like, I mean, previously automobiles only had odometer and speedometer and all few components which were pretty simple. But with the advent of new technologies like smart gadgets and smart screens, and the whole HMI is changing. So this is another department where automobile industry is changing a lot. So this is the main, I mean, this is one important part of the automobile design. Here it is mostly about the human and machine interface. So it is more of UX design. Then comes the color and trim department. This is another department where mostly who is interested in graphics, people who are interested in graphics and then uh, detailing part of the vehicle, they can go into this particular field. So this particular designer, this group of people will decide what color it should come, what color should be the exterior, what colors, what textures should the seat have, what textures should the um, rear handle, what should be the texture of the um, wheel steering, then what should be the amount of liters um, on the color. All those decisions are done by the color and trim department. So this is a complete different department. So they are the deciders of all these things. So transportation as a whole is like they have department called creative design, clay sculpting, digital sculpting, color and trim design, visualization, HMI. Then there is another department called design quality. So these are the people who will talk with the vendors who will be producing that particular. Say we want to make a concept car, so all the surfaces will be built by different companies, and the wheels will be made by different companies, and the interior trims will be made by the different companies. So they will, what they do is they will go into each company and verify the quality of that product. So say the color and trim department wanted a particular texture. That texture is not visible in the dashboard. So they will immediately reject that particular dashboard. So the other company who was building that particular dashboard, they should redo the whole work. So they are the deciders whether the quality, they are the deciders of the quality of that particular product. So they have good understanding of design, and they will need to communicate well with the other design departments while working on it. So another department that we have is design studio design engineering. So what we call is as the SDE. So in this department, what they do is like they are the mediators of design and engineering. So at certain times, what happens is like engineers will have different requirements, and designers will have different requirements. So they will be communicating between the both the team. So they will try to make the designers understand what the engineers need actually and why is it not possible. And if the design is absolutely necessary, then they will try to convince the engineering part to accommodate with that particular design. So they are the intermediators between the design and the engineers. So this is all about how the industry works. Then coming to automobile industry is changing uh, because of the advent of different new technologies. So when you talk about different products and the pace of innovation, we see that the mobile phone that we see 10 years back, it was completely different, and now it is completely different. So with the advent of new technologies, augmented reality, um, smart products, connected products, and then coming to the other fields like aviation field, where you can see people are imagining like uh, Iron Man. I mean, they have exoskeletons produced. These are new technologies which are affecting automobile industry as well. So how we'll get into the other presentation. So when we talk about um, give me a second, please. Sorry. Extremely sorry. When we talk about the automobile industry, the changes can be seen because automobile industry is moving towards electric, Then it is moving towards autonomous. It is moving towards shared and connected. And as you see, the younger generation is technically savvy. So the significant driver for the automobile industry is like, I mean, when you talk about the tech-savvy new generation, people want everything to be updated yearly. I mean, when you talk about a mobile phone, people expect the mobile and the next generation of mobile phone to be updated within the next year. So these requirements can be readily seen in automotive industry as well, because the consumers will be the same tech savvy people. So when we talk about the automotive OEMs, when we talk about these tech savvy people, there will be increasing number of model choice. So, and while decreasing vehicle architecture, that means what happens is like there will be number of variation of the same model, but the architecture or the base of the vehicle will be same. So a designer needs to rethink his design approach, because in traditionally what happens is like whenever we design a concept, the architecture also changes. But when we talk about when we uh, want to have multiple choices for the same vehicle, then the base will be similar and the outer body will be different. So if we think in that way, the whole design approach will change. So this is another need of the generation. So design industry is also changing based on that requirement. Then coming to other trends of design, uh, the new trend is like to have textures on surfaces. So I was reading one particular magazine a few days back. I read somewhere where it says like textures serves as a food for the brain. So just imagine yourself on the lobby of a big hotel where there is a plain wall in front of you. So you need to wait there for 40 minutes, say for some meeting purpose. So you don't have anything to do. So if you put particular textures or if you put a painting over there, particular say there is no painting at all. If you put at least some textures, there will be some food for your brain to rethink. So what I feel is like in automotive industry is also trying to do the same thing in our automobiles. Right now, because industry is changing to electric vehicle, the front part of the vehicle doesn't have any grill. So what the designers are trying to do is they are trying to put textures on this particular concept. So this is a very new trend, uh, and if you are an automotive enthusiast, you can see almost all the vehicles are trying to incorporate textures on their vehicles. So previously, it was very difficult to um, execute this kind of textures on a vehicle because the software won't allow us to make this particular parametric designs. But with new technology, like I mean, there is a plugin called Dynamo Basics in Autodesk Alias, and there is a plugin called Grasshopper in uh, Rhinoceros software, where you can do these parametric designs very easily. So few years back, it was a very difficult task to accomplish because industry was using only UZ software called UZ. So which the advent of this, I mean, introduction of these plugins, it has become a lot easier for the industry. So the designers are exploring this particular software and as well as the textures based on this software. Then coming to the virtual reality part, so the industry is really trying to use the VR to serve some purposes. So in industry, normally the VR is used for the review purposes. Whenever we uh, work for a concept, we initially build a digital model. So the um, higher decision makers, what they do is they will review the digital model in VR so that they get a actual understanding of that particular vehicle. Then, because of this VR, the creative industry is also changing. I mean, the creative design part of the industry is also changing. There are different apps for designers, whether you want to sketch or sculpt full concept. The softwares like Gravity, Sketch, Tilt Brush by Google, Unbound Alpha, Substance Painter, then Oculus Medium, and there is I mean, open source Mozilla A Painter also. So you can explore these particular softwares for if you have those facilities in your lab, you can explore all these things. So the design industry is changing because of these technologies as well. Then coming to sub-D modeling, previously, initially, industry was very orthodox with the modeling part. The industry still uses Autodesk Alias as their main surface building software. But looking at the other industries, especially entertainment industries, they came, they are getting inspired to work with other softwares as well. So they are trying with different softwares like Blender, ZBrush. I am learning ZBrush for some uh, project work for my office as well. So we are trying to develop certain workflows to develop a car quick time. So what happens is like whenever we use sub-D modeling is nothing like when you work with Max, 3ds Max, Maya, ZBrush and all. This is based on sub-D, and our uh, traditional surfacing is nerves based. So in sub-D modeling, we can quickly conceptualize the design. After the conceptualization phase, we'll take the same modeling to Alias for quality surfacing. So what is it for us as a designer? I have talked about all these new technologies. So new requirements and changes in the industry. So what is it for us? When we talk about this field, these particular things, with the as industry is moving towards the electric generation, what happens is like we are trying to remove the fuel engines from our vehicles. So when we talk about fuel engines, we'll have front engine, mid engine, rear engine. So if we don't require all those engines, then we have lot of space left. So whenever we put a battery in a vehicle, it will be mostly in the lower base part of the vehicle. That is the bed of the vehicle. So that means we have lot of space which needs to be used. So whenever, because of these changes in the industry, the vehicle shapes will also get changed. So in next 10 years or maybe 20 years, the vehicles that we see on the road will be completely different from the vehicles that we see now on the road. And when you talk about autonomous, since since it is autonomous, you don't need a driver over there. So that particular module itself will be removed. So that means the designer's approach towards designing that particular vehicle needs to be changed as well. Then we talk about shared and connected vehicles. Because of all these requirements, the designer has to think completely differently. And as I talked about the yearly updation, because of the tech savvy people, the consumers need updated vehicle and change model. So the requirement of a company or OEM is really very high. So that the designers' work is also getting increased because of this uh, changes in changes in trends of design. Coming to the days before your race, so it is like, I mean, when it's only 2 years from now, you have joined the MDES. Most of you will be joining UX, graphics, and you might opt for automobile or product design. So you need to prepare well for the industry. So what I feel is like, whenever you need to prepare for the industry, you need to look into your professional resume, your design portfolio, and the career goals that you have set on that uh, on that particular resume. Then you need to show your online presence. When I talk about the online presence, you need to update your LinkedIn profile very frequently so that you get frequent visitors on your profile. Then you can go for portfolio. You can upload your portfolios in Behance and other personal blogs. Then you need to develop your skills as well. So you just have 2 years, but I mean, as I said, design is a continuous learning process. You can develop it later in later stages as well. So, but practice is one thing which needs to be done regularly to get into the industry, because industry needs skill, and without proper, what happens is like, I mean, our theoretical knowledge will be pretty great, but our skill sets will be uh, comparatively less. So industry needs skill as the first priority, and then theoretical skills. I mean, theoretical learnings comes next. The design sensitivity and all those things comes next. Yes, skills is like the basic requirement of the industry. So you need to, if you are interested in sketching, you need to develop your sketching. Then you need to learn the digital rendering part. Then how new concept generation is done. Then you need to learn different surface modeling skills like 3D modeling or nerd modeling. Then the digital sketching skills, especially working with Photoshop rendering and all. Then with the new technologies like 3D patterns, which I have already shown, you can explore this particular software in Rhino and um, um, Alias, these plugins in Alias, and learn this particular 3D pattern. Then try to participate in design competitions, try to attend workshops and internships so that you are industry ready. Then coming to design forums and online learnings, these are few. You can take a snapshot of this particular slide if you want. These are few forums which I particularly like and visit. There are a lot more, but these are few things which you will learn a lot through these particular websites. These are few things which needs to be developed. That you need to be extraordinarily creative. Then you need to be good at visualizing things. And to be good at visualizing, you need to observe certain things. You need to observe various fields of design. Not only what I suggest is, you don't, if you are interested in automobile design, I suggest to get inspiration from all other fields. Say like you photography for visualize, and then for inspiration you can go into fashion, architecture. You try to be well updated with different fields. So when I talk about good at visualizing, I also would like you to be good at observing things. Then coming to ideas, you need to uh, sharpen your skills on sketching and modeling. Then you need to be a critical thinker for the industry, and you need to be a brilliant storyteller. So it is, so whenever you design a concept, you need to tell the audience what story it actually brings. So particularly say you are designing an autonomous car, so how the family will be accommodated inside, all those kind of things. So you need to be a brilliant storyteller. Sorry for the spelling mistake over here. Sorry. Then you need to be excellent problem finder and solver. So at certain times in the industry, what happens is like, I mean, there will be certain engineering requirements which actually violates your design. So you need to be a good problem solver to resolve that particular area, visually as well as technically. You need to have good understanding of spatial intelligence. Then talking about sensitivity in design, you need to have good understanding of shape, form, and color. And over and above all this, you need to be a team player. Team player in the sense, at certain times whenever we design, we feel like our design is the best design. So based on the design requirement of a particular company, you need to be a team player so that you can accept others' suggestion as well. So being a designer, we always feel our design to be the best and it is the best. So you need to remove that particular feeling in the industry whenever you work in the industry. So I always encourage people to be a team player if you are planning to get into the industry. How was the session? Was it, I mean, was it good? I mean, did you learn something?
Yes, the session was very insightful.
And if you have any questions, you can call me personally also. Meenakshi will have my number. So if you require any help in future, you can directly call me. I will definitely be there for you. And thank you, Design Department IIT Hyderabad for giving me this opportunity. Hope you have learned a little bit about automobile design. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. On behalf of the entire department, I would like to thank you for taking out time and explaining us so wonderfully.
Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.